So we are currently on our way to San Francisco. Just spent 3.5 days in New York. It was amazing, honestly. So cool, such a great place. Like high energy, Times Square is just unbelievable. You know, the food was really, really good. Central Park was lovely. It was great to have like a bit of a break from the, you know, high energy of New York City, with Central Park being right there. We went to the Met as well. That was amazing. You know, we saw like, I'd say honestly, the Egyptian collection at the Met is probably among the best collection of Egyptian artifacts I've seen anywhere in the world. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see San Francisco, you know, the palm trees and all that stuff. You know, when we head out to California anyway, you know, to LA, the palm trees, the beaches. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Really, really looking forward to that. Having a bit of, you know, East Coast and West Coast. I think the 3.5 days we spent in New York was the perfect amount of time. Probably could have had another couple of days, but I think, yeah, we packed the 3.5 days with activities and stuff. So, yeah, really happy with the time we've spent in New York. Now it's on to San Francisco and Cali. We're in San Francisco, baby. Woo! Look at the palm trees, the sun. It's definitely more relaxed for sure. Like, New York is full of hustle and bustle. You know, people are just go, go, go. Here, it seems a lot more laid back, which I kind of enjoy. We've only been here for like, you know, maybe an hour, but I'm loving it so far. I'm definitely loving the Cali vibe, like totally. We're gonna get some coffee and go to surf. Yeah, that's fun. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. Yep, so we went to San Francisco. We went to America. We did 4 days in New York, a few days in San Francisco, the national parks with Yosemite, Sequoia. Then we drove to LA. Drove to Vegas, then Los Angeles. It was a hell of a trip. I mean, we drove in 6 days, well over 1,500 miles. Honestly, I'm still kind of tired from the trip, but it was just one of the best holidays I've ever been on in my life. You know, like you guys know that I've been discussing this trip to America for a long time. And, you know, for it to materialize the way it did, it was brilliant. So yeah, going to talk you through what we did in the West Coast. We took loads of footage. I didn't want to, because, you know, I stopped constantly and I was recording video and taking photos, and I could tell the missus was getting a bit annoyed, even though she knew that obviously I wanted to record it as much as I could. So yeah, I didn't record quite enough to make a proper full-on vlog, but I recorded loads and loads of video that I'm going to put in this video after I describe it and stuff like that. So yeah, we flew from New York to SFO, San Francisco International. That took 7 hours. Slept most of the way because we were quite tired from the night before. Our hotel was in Union Square in San Francisco. So we got the car. We booked a car from Avis, got the car, drove to Union Square. We dropped off our stuff in the hotel. The hotel was all right. It was better than the hotel in New York for sure. Still wasn't great, just a standard kind of, you know, 3-star motel. We're only staying there for a night or two, so it was fine. We were hungry, so we went to the KFC right next door. And oh my goodness, we were shocked at, like, it was basically like being in a movie. It was full of like interesting characters, shall we say. Interesting characters, clearly, like, you know, like, yeah, people that you probably wouldn't want to be around for very long. They were really getting rude with the cashiers, not the cashier, the woman behind the till, demanding that they get like free burritos. You know, like one of them was using, like, I don't want to say, you know what I'm talking about. Like, hang on, let me do using in the actual KFC. But we were so hungry, so we waited in the KFC, got the food, and immediately went back to the hotel room. We couldn't believe what we saw. But yeah, that was our experience in the KFC in Union Square. And then we went to see the Golden Gate Bridge. Here I am, Golden Gate Bridge in the background. Like, the photos, you think it is a pretty bridge, but when you see it in real life, it's actually stunning. Like, the design is quite simple, but I think the color and like the look of the material is really, really nice. It's like impossible for me to have my face and the bridge in the same shot. That's why I'm having to like go back and forth. But yeah, genuinely a very, very beautiful bridge. I'd say it's almost as good looking as the Tower Bridge in London. I don't think the missus agrees with me. She's making a funny face, but yeah, I think it is. I think it's maybe just almost as good, almost. That right there is Alcatraz, the abandoned prison island. You know, I've heard so many stories about that place. You know, imagine escaping from prison, but then you've got to swim for like, 20, 30 miles. You're fucked, really, unless you're Michael Phelps. But yeah, just, it's so cool to be like so close to it. Yeah, very cool. Now, the Golden Gate Bridge is something that we've seen a lot in videos, in movies, and photos. And honestly, it was so beautiful, seeing it, in real life. Like, the color of it, the orange look is just, I don't know why I really, really fell in love with the bridge. I mean, ultimately it's just a bridge, but I love the look of it. I love the look of it. I took at least 10 photos of myself next to the bridge. I got loads with the missus as well. Really, really enjoyed that. And then we went to this place called Bubba Gump Shrimp. Look at all this amazing food. Yummy. It was basically, so next to the Golden Gate Bridge, there's this kind of like, how would I describe it? Like almost like a seaside little community. Such a cool vibe. Really reminds me of like Southend-on-Sea or Margate or Bournemouth Beach in the UK. Like really relaxed, really, just chilled out. People having fun, lots of seafood. Just, yeah, people having a great time. So what do you want to do, babe?
Now I'm just thinking about going to
Yeah, okay. Where they've got like, carousels, loads of restaurants, a few bars. So we went to Bubba Gump Shrimp and got this massive selection of seafood. We got crab, we got, loads of prawns or shrimp. We got clam chowder, which was absolutely amazing. I didn't think I would like clam chowder, but I really, really did. It was so, so tasty. Yeah, that was honestly one of the best meals of the holiday, like of the whole holiday. And the bill, considering the amount of seafood we got, the bill was actually all right. It wasn't that bad compared to, what we spent at Peak in Hudson Yards. And then the next day we drove to Yosemite National Park. This is the Yosemite General Store. I'm actually surprised at the selection of stuff, to be honest. Like, it's pretty huge. Much bigger than like a Tesco Express back where I'm from. Absolutely gorgeous waterfall. Look at how the water is just, almost misting down. There it goes. There it is. Oh, fuck's sake.
Good of you.
Yeah. Made it to Yosemite National Park. Hell of a drive from San Francisco, but we did it. And what a place. So that was 165 miles. That was, you know, for me, that was one of the longest drives I've ever done in my life. You know, the England, I know you guys are going to be laughing at that, but England, the UK is way smaller than America. You know, the distances here, you know, to get from London to Manchester, which is seen as quite a long drive, we're only talking about 120, 140 miles max. And you've gone from nearly the bottom of the country to nearly the middle of the country. So yeah, you know, that's, and you know, I think most of you guys in America, that's like nothing. You could do that daily. And on the way to Yosemite, we stopped off at a Walmart because I really wanted to go to a Walmart. Wowzer. Look at the size of this iced coffee. That's my hand. Okay, it's not accurate, but it's way bigger than my hand. Ow! Look at the size of this onion. I reckon I've got quite big hands, and look at the size of it. Wow. Guys, look at the size of this tub of cheese things. Enormous. Guys, look at the amount of chips. I've never seen such a range of chips before in my life. This is like I've died and gone to potato chip land. Just wow. Look. It's crazy. Wow. I didn't realize that everything, you have the Spanish translation underneath everything. I think that speaks to the fact that California is like 40% Latino, I think. So something funny just happened to us in the Walmart. So we just finished paying, talking to the guy at the checkout. Really nice guy, tells us that he collects foreign currency. Anyway, we get our shopping and then we head to the exit and they ask us for our receipt. And we didn't know that you had to show your receipt before you can leave. So we had to walk all the way back and get the receipt. Just a funny little quirk, because in England, they don't really do that. I think they only do it at Walmart, not at Walmart, sorry, at Costco. So yeah, it's quite a new thing, quite a funny little experience. And such a cool store, such a cool store. The amount of things that you have there that we don't have here, and the sheer size. Like, we saw this ground beef. Guys, this is the biggest amount of ground beef. Jesus Christ. What does it weigh? This thing weighs 10 pounds. Container, I don't know how, what would I even describe it as? It was the biggest, it was a 10 pound ground beef thing that you could buy. Like, it was absolutely huge. It was bigger than a baseball bat. I will say though that a lot of the groceries in the Walmart were much more expensive than they are over here. Like, you know, a packet of potato chips that would sell for, you know, £2 over here was like $7, you know. Your fruit is more expensive as well. So I was quite surprised by that, because a lot of this stuff is produced, you know, domestically in America, whereas we have to import it from Spain and other countries. So I thought groceries would be cheaper. So at Yosemite, we did this 2-hour hike and it was just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous waterfall. Look at how the water is just, you know, almost misting down. There it goes. There it is. Oh, fuck's sake.
Good of you.
Yeah. Made it to Yosemite National Park. Hell of a drive from San Francisco, but we did it. And what a place. You know, as someone that, like, you guys know, I'm from London, you know, this is the only sort of like open green space for miles and miles and miles. Otherwise it's really loud and stuff like that. So to go somewhere that was just proper, like, quiet, you couldn't hear any cars, like super, like, just disconnect from the internet and from the world for a bit. was just brilliant. And Yosemite is genuinely a stunning place. Just the way the nature is, it's hard to put into words. Like, you guys that have been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a really beautiful place. I will say as well, we went to get a sandwich at the grocery store in Yosemite, and man, that thing was expensive. We are talking for a pack of cheese, 10 slices of Swiss cheese. It was over $10. These prices are insane. $9 for some cheese. Ow! Bit of pastrami on rye, some vegetable soup here at the Yosemite kind of restaurant cafe. Yummy. This is the Yosemite General Store. I'm actually surprised at the selection of stuff, to be honest. Like, it's pretty huge. Much bigger than like a Tesco Express back where I'm from. It was like $10 or something like that. We're talking almost $1 per slice of cheese. Another thing was basically the hotel that we had booked in Yosemite. We didn't realize just how huge and gargantuan Yosemite National Park is. The hotel, from the information center in Yosemite, the hotel in Yosemite was a 3-hour drive away, because obviously you're driving up the mountain, right? You're going at like 30 miles an hour, and it was like 100 and something miles away. It was so far away, and unfortunately we didn't calculate properly when it would get dark. And one thing about America that I noticed that I didn't really like was the roads aren't really well lit, or as well lit as they are here in the UK. So we couldn't see. For the last hour of the drive, we just couldn't see anything. And the road became like a dirt road, because obviously it's in a national park, so it's not completely tarred and stuff. So yeah, that was a really sketchy, scary drive. And yeah, we decided, because we stayed there for 2 nights, we decided that the next night we would stay in a more local hotel. We'd just find a motel. And we couldn't get a refund for the second night in Yosemite, so we had to stump up an extra $100 for a new hotel. But I think it was worth it from a safety perspective. So we've just had breakfast in San Francisco. Well, no, not San Francisco. Near the Yosemite Park. It was waffles, eggs and sausages, which we've had pretty much at every hotel. Pretty good. Meh. So after Yosemite, we then went to Sequoia National Park. So that was another 150 sort of miles. Sequoia National Park, for me, was near the top of the highlight list of this trip. Just breathtaking. Like, to be up close to General Sherman, you know, General Sherman is basically one of the oldest trees in the world. I think it's like 2,500 years old. It is gargantuan. The size of this tree. It is humongous. This thing needs to be seen to be believed. It's like looking at a building. This thing was huge, absolutely huge. One of the highlights I'll never forget, you know, I took loads of video of the tree. The other trees there were super impressive as well. I think there was one called the President. There was one called House of Congress or something like that. But General Sherman was just absolutely breathtaking. And here we have the Iron Throne. Da, 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 da. Kind of looks a bit like a crocodile, doesn't it? Wow. Look at this. Cut a little hole for people to... Oh. Ah. No, I'm not that tall. Currently walking through the giant tree forest, and it's really incredible the size of some of these trees. Like, we're talking thousands of years of growth. Like, Pictures are hard, it's hard to capture how thick they are, honestly. The width of them. It's really, really stunning. It'd be so cool just to like sit next to one and read a book. Kind of feel like you're in Harry Potter or something. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.